All right, welcome. Episode 6 of the 2 Minute Warning. I have my colleague Greg, NFL analyst by day, NBA by night.
Yes,
today we're talking about the 2020 MVP race. Who's going to take the MVP of the league? What we got today?
I mean, for me, it's got to be Russell Wilson. I got some things written down here. Just some numbers that jump out real quick. As of week 5, he had 250-plus passing yards and 2 or more passing touchdowns in each of his 4 games, which is, he's never had a streak like that in his career. I could read more numbers, but they're all top of the league right now. There's not really much that he's doing right now that I think he can do better. He's just having a really great career. Props to Pete Carroll for, telling him to really give him the freedom to, pop off. Another name I think close second would have to be Aarond Rodgers. If you look at what he's doing right now with, really no, top name receivers, he's still, the man's old and he's still, taking off, nobody's business, which I think, partly due to the fact that they drafted Jordan Love. Yeah. So he's definitely trying to prove that,
motivation.
He's definitely trying to prove that, he does not need, them drafting some rookie quarterback right now. He's still good. So, yeah, definitely for me, Russell Wilson.
Jay, what you got? I know you love Russell.
Same thing, pretty much, just to add on to it. Russell Wilson's got a 73% completion rate. He's 5-0. There's really no argument against him unless, it's early in the season. He's leading the league in touchdowns, only 3 interceptions, 19-3 ratio. Can't get much better than that. I think late in the season, Rodgers will definitely make it closer, but as of right now, I got to give it to Russell.
Good argument. I can't believe we're leaving out Mahomes. Mahomes boy, Super Bowl champion coming from last season. Completion rate a little lower than Rodgers and Wilson, but he's Mahomes. He can't get much better than that as of right now. He does have a loss. That loss against the Raiders was a little
that was a bad one.
Uncharacteristic of that team, but all teams lose, and one loss in the regular season won't kill them. And Mahomes is still putting up ridiculous numbers, making on-the-run throws that you don't think are possible. Just even apart from his stats, just the way he plays is just MVP caliber. So I don't think it's fair to leave him out of that. But again, Rodgers and Russell out of the NFC are really hard to argue against.
I would say Josh Allen's a good dark horse also. Not likely, but
right.
Small chance.
He's definitely doing things, with the Bills are probably going to win the AFC East. Unless, it's going to be them and the Pats at the top.
Yeah.
So, it's definitely going to be a battle. I just think right now, Wilson's probably the clear front runner, I would say. Unless someone else steps up or
I don't see him as a clear front runner. But
I wouldn't say unanimous, but I would say definitely he is the front runner. But it could change. It could change it
I think him and Rodgers will face off in the NFC.
Oh yeah, I'm already picturing that game again.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Unless not that Tom Brady will win MVP, but unless he gets in the mix and takes one bound in the postseason.
Yep.
Another guy I would throw out there, which kind of stinks, is that we never got to really see this play out, was Dak Prescott.
His passing yards this season were off the charts, almost 2,000 yards.
Set records.
Yeah,
he's the only reason the Cowboys are relevant. The only reason. And they still could not get him wins. But that's why it sucks seeing him go down.
Now, is it fair to not even include Lamar in this conversation at all?
Just
the man's such a talented player.
Based off that matchup against Kansas City, Lamar couldn't even put up 100 passing yards. That's not even competitive. So.
Yeah, I just don't.
I think that takes him out completely, even though it's just one.
I think he'll be dangerous in the playoffs. I feel like. I just feel like now his numbers are kind of just, I wouldn't say stagnant. They're just they're not MVP level. They're not bad.
Well, he mentioned
knock on Lamar just to say he's the most valuable. I would not.
He mentioned earlier. What did he throw for under 100 yards last week?
Whenever he
the
played
week before.
Chiefs.
Anyway, yes, against Kansas City, Lamar threw for 100 yards. I don't think MVP quarterback would do that. I see Lamar as maybe putting up a great regular season, but as of now, I don't have much faith in him in the playoffs. Yeah. Just the way his career has gone.
Non-quarterback, DK Metcalf. He kind of needs Russell Wilson to get that far, but he's also a good non-quarterback to talk about to win the MVP.
Yeah, DK is turning into the freaking next Megatron here.
If a non-quarterback player was going to win the MVP, who else but DK would it be?
I would throw out Myles Garrett.
That was my
I would
point
throw
was
out Myles
There's
Garrett.
Aaron Donald is in the race every
Yes.
single year.
yeah, that's true.
No, Garrett is a beast. Like Garrett,
Because he hits people with his helmet.
he's forced like six turnovers when he's pressured the quarterback. Like he's causing turnovers at like a ballistic rate.
I think he should be exempt from any consideration because he almost killed.
Because he almost
Mason
killed
Rudolph.
Mason Rudolph.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
But he's a great player. You mentioned Josh Allen as a possible sleeper out of the AFC. If there was to be one guy that would be a sleeper out of the AFC, I think it'd be unfair to leave my guy Deshaun Watson out of the talk.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I think it's a
Watson.
great point. The man is undeniably talented. They just fired their head coach, Bill O'Brien. New stuff coming for the Texans. Just came off a big win. I mean, not a good team they beat in Jacksonville, but first win of the season. Deshaun played great. I think he's possibly going to be in the mix come the end of the season when it all comes down to it.
That 1-4 record.
1-4 record. Now, tell me, does an MVP go to an entire team or one player?
One player.
One guy.
So
Yes, but you have to realize that.
Deshaun's numbers, not quite MVP caliber yet. His team is not good. His defense is extremely weak. As an MVP candidate, it's possible.
Yeah, but you see this in the NBA a lot, especially like the MVP is going to go to.
NBA specialist right here.
I got my peach tree. But so obviously the MVP is going to go to like the best player who is also has the most team success. Like that's why you saw it with like Giannis winning MVPs because like
It's a good point. Now with Texans coming in with a new head coach, 12-4 record is on the table. They could win 12 straight and go 12-4. That's a good team.
Yeah, I
Beat the
trust
Titans
winning
twice.
I could see it. Titans are an above average team for sure.
They haven't lost.
They haven't lost.
They
And they
have
beat
not
the
lost.
undefeated Bills 42-16.
Josh Allen isn't legit. It's not. That's
What
not
happened
a
to
legit
him
team.
being a
You know what, I
solid
saw-
dark horse?
I saw an interesting.
You mentioned that. I didn't.
Yeah, but you agreed.
I said, as well as you mentioning that, I had another one. I did not agree with that
Okay.
statement.
Okay.
We can watch.
Dude, I saw an interesting
Run it
graphic talking about
Run,
how
play that skip, please.
how Ryan Tannehill, since he's started, since he took over from Mariota, if you look at his games versus Mahomes' games in the same time, they have identical numbers.
Yeah.
He's a great player. He's a good leader. He runs that team really well. Titans are a great team.
You just needed to
Does
get
what
out
he
of
needs.
Adam Gase's system in Miami.
What's your
Yeah.
thoughts on Matt Ryan?
Matt Ryan.
Not as MVP, just in general.
Just in general.
Matty Ice.
It's just so hard to tell when he gets on the field what the Falcons are going to do that day. We've seen times this year. Well, I guess I can't name any specific times this year. He can play really well, is my point. He can come out and throw 400 yards with 4 touchdowns, but then the following week, or even within the same game, first half could come out and throw 2 touchdowns and 200 yards in the first half, and then be the complete opposite the next year, or the next half. Sorry, but I think the Falcons need to try to find the new direction to go.
They
at
fired their
quarterback.
coach.
They're already starting to go somewhere. They fired Dan Quinn. I think they need to try to find a way to part ways with Matt Ryan if they ever want to be a legit team in the near future.
Yeah.
But he's not bad. I don't want to say he's bad.
Well,
You say he's
Inconsistent.
better or worse than Deshaun?
worse. I'd say worse.
He's old. Deshaun is young. Matt Ryan definitely has his moments. Like I said, he can be a good player, but
He has a better touchdown to interception ratio than
I'd
Deshaun.
rather have Deshaun.
You might as well throw Matt Ryan in for MVP then.
Really?
Yeah, because
Okay.
better
Might
ratio.
have lost.
We might as well go ahead and throw Deshaun over Rodgers in that talk. He's got more passing yards this season by over 200 yards.
Mm.
We might as well just get it.
We might as well.
MVP.
We might as well
Well, I
give
mean,
it to him.
Dak
Really.
won it then. His injuries excluded. He's already won it at that
Dak,
rate.
if the season was 5 games long, then he would. Now,
Well, let me say one thing about Matt Ryan. So I have him in fantasy, so it's
Yeah.
really easy for me to see how he does. And I'll say this: at the beginning of the year, his numbers were great. He was putting up.
he puts up
performances.
good numbers sometimes for
Though
stretches.
lately he's been slipping.
Yeah.
This man has been getting me I'm talking seven or 8 fantasy points the
Yeah.
last 2 weeks. So I don't know. Even when I was watching the Falcons play, either last week or a couple weeks ago, this man was making some very uncharacteristic errors, which I think I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe with a new coach. I mean, Dan Quinn is just not cutting it.
Yeah.
His play calling was just
Julio's
god
better.
awful.
Yeah, Julio hasn't been
Yeah,
in.
Julio's been hurt, but he has weapons. He has Ridley Russell Gage.
Todd Gurley's back, or he's
Yeah.
with the Falcons.
He has Hayden Hurst. Like, all those guys are solid players. So I know that the Falcons have the firepower.
I would not have guessed their record.
Yeah, their defense is just literally JV level. Like, it's so bad. So I mean, I definitely would not put Matt Ryan near the MVP conversation, but he's all right. I mean, he's just kind of playing average right now. I mean, honestly, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Well, my top three would be Wilson, Rodgers, and then as of right now, I think by the end of the season, Mahomes takes number 3 for MVP race.
I would, yeah. I mean, it's hard to argue like not having Wilson or Rodgers at the top. So that would be my 3. My 3 would be. Right now, I'd have Wilson, Rodgers, and then I think if Dak didn't get injured, I would have put Dak at 3. But since he's injured, obviously, I'm gonna probably throw in Josh Allen just because of what he's been able to do with the Bills. Like, he's been.
Yeah, that's actually a good
balling
point.
out.
Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes play against each other this weekend, so that could help determine it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
If I had to predict a winner, I'm gonna go with Aaron Rodgers. Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers are neck and neck. And the one thing, the MVP will already be decided by NFC Championship time, or no?
Will be picked, yes. Will be announced, no.
Gotcha. Anyway, I see them as neck and neck, and it just seems to me that the last couple of years the Packers have had the Seahawks number in the playoffs. So for that reason, I think the Packers are a better team. So I'm going to go with Rodgers ultimately winning the league MVP, but Russell's going to be right behind him, and if he wins it, I will not be surprised.
Yeah, man. I think if Russell just keeps up this level.
Oh yeah, if he stays on this pace, he's gonna set records and
I mean,
he's gonna win.
if he slips, then he slips. But
I mean, he's putting up those numbers with a bad defense.
Right.
But that kind of helps him because he gets
the ball a lot.
He's then forced to put
He's
it
forced
up.
to score or
If they
lose.
want to win.
He does, yeah. And I mean, obviously, like the Seahawks have like a filthy air raid attack. Like they have Lockett,
Yeah.
Metcalf, 2.
They got a run game
Insane
too.
good.
Chris Carson.
Chris Carson is a solid running
He always
back.
comes
And
up
Travis
with that.
Homer, backup running back, solid dude out of Miami. So I mean, all those guys are. I mean, they have potent offense. I mean, I mean, you can't count out Green Bay, but I don't know. I just feel like the receiving core for the Seahawks,
Right.
is definitely like a lot more dangerous in a playoff game when you look at it
Okay.
than Green Bay. But I think Green Bay has a better defense. I would say.
Yeah.
They definitely have a more solid defense. So I mean, I would love to see those two face off in
Oh,
the
yeah.
championship. It would be absolutely insane to
I
watch.
think
those
that's
two
what
go.
we're looking at right now. I mean, out of the NFC,
Mhm.
the Bears may challenge that somehow along the way,
Do
but
the Seahawks and Packers play regular season this year?
I'm not sure.
Not sure.
I feel like you would know
I feel
that.
like
yeah,
I
that'd
feel
be
like
a game to
that
watch.
would be definitely. Because I know that the Packers played this week.
Packers play the Bucks this
The
weekend.
Bucks. They do play the Bucks.
So
Yeah, we can see Tom Brady.
Tom Brady can hold his
get
own against the
get his ass worked.
Go.
it's in Tampa. Bucks just came off a loss, but
Yeah, but
Rodgers is looking to go 5-0, so it's gonna be tough.
yeah, it's gonna be a tough.
If he does beat Tom Brady, like, and it's bad, like it's not even close, that might move him in front of Russell.
Yeah, I gotta see the line for that game. I definitely take the Packers in that game.
Oh, yeah.
Give me the Packers.
Give me the Packers.
7 days a week in that matchup. But I definitely see a Rodgers out dueling of Tom Brady.
Oh yeah.
I think Brady will have his fair share of picks. Probably go for,
Yeah.
250 yards, a ton of dink and dunks to
Maybe forget what down it is.
maybe
Never
maybe
know.
forget again what
You
freaking
never
round
know
it is.
what'll happen.
It's Tom Brady. This is our goat. That's my goat right there.
All right. 2-minute warning. Let's
All
wrap
right.
it up.